Alright, so note set number 2, guys. This is called the distributive property, and it's going to go into page 8 of your notes. All of this should fit on page 8, and then the examples can go on page 9. We're just going to go over the basic distributive property, and then the next day we're going to go over a little bit more complicated stuff, but these are your only notes for the distributive property. So, our goal, as you can see, is that after these notes, you are going to be able to simplify expressions by distributing. Okay? It's not a very difficult task. You should do pretty good. Okay? Now, we briefly touched on this before, but when something is inside parentheses, okay, like that, we talked about what that means. Okay? No longer do we use the x. The x never again means times. The x now means the variable x. So parentheses now mean multiply. Okay? So when you see parentheses, that means you're going to have to multiply. Okay, so here's where we get to our actual notes. The distributive property itself. This is the definition. Okay? Everything on the outside has to be multiplied by everything on the inside. Okay, that's just the definition. We're going to get into an example in a second. Okay, so let's look at this example right here. Okay, we've got 3 times the quantity x minus 5. So 3 times the quantity x minus 5. Okay? Basically, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to multiply this 3 times everything in here. A simpler or an expanded way of saying it would be 3 times x minus 3 times 5. That's one way to do it, but I'm going to show you a couple quicker ways to do it right now. First, step 1, you're either going to make a box or draw arrows. When I say make a box, you literally just make a box that looks like this. Okay, when I say draw arrows, and some of you might not like the arrows, when you draw them, you go like this, and you go like this. The only difference, though, is when you make those arrows, you have to do a sound effect that goes with it. So you have to go like this. Whoop! Okay? And then you have to go whoop! Like that. Okay, it's just a reminder for you to do that. So once again, when you see these parentheses are a big clue for you to either draw the box or make those arrows. Okay? So, once you have your box, if you're going to do it the box way, you're going to have to go like this and go like this. All I did is I took this 3, I put it here on the box, I took the x minus 5 and I put it down there. Okay? Now it says you're going to fill in the box by multiplying. Well, 3 times x, that's easy. That's 3x. Well, what is 3 times negative 5? Well, 3 times 5 is 15. A negative times a positive is a negative. Okay, same thing here. 3 times x minus 5. When I do the arrows, whoop, whoop. 3 times x is 3x. Okay, and then when we look over here, 3 times negative 5 equals negative 15. Okay, the very last step is just write the problem out like normal. So I take whatever is inside of this box, whatever is inside here, and I just write it out. So it's going to be 3x minus 15, and as you can see, this part is already written out as 3x minus 15, and there we go. That's our answer. It is now simplified. There's no multiplication, there's no parentheses, all of that's gone. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at a couple example problems. Okay, when we look here, let's pick this color. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you to do 1 and 2. You guys can do 1 and 2. I'm going to do number 3 for you. So I like the arrows, so I'm going to do the arrows. I go whoop, whoop. The first thing I do is I do negative 4 times negative 5x. Well, 4 times 5 is 20. Now, a negative times a negative is a positive, and then I can't forget that x. So negative 4 times negative 5x is 20x. Now, second, I go whoop, whoop with that second arrow, and I do negative 4 times, now this is careful, remember that 8 is a negative because of that negative sign right there. So 4 times 8 is 32, but then a negative times a negative is a positive. So my answer is 20x minus 32. Easy enough. Okay, I'm going to do number 5 now, except now I'm going to do it the box method. So first things first, I'm going to draw my box. I've got my box right here. The 6 I'm going to put right here. The negative 2 plus 6 I'm going to put right here. Oops, let me redo that. Let me make a pen that's just a little bit smaller for you. There you go. So here's my box. 6, negative 2x plus 6. So now I'm going to fill in that box. 6 times negative 2x is negative 12x. Okay, and then again we've got 6 times 6, that's going to be 36. So when I write out my answer, it's going to be negative 12x plus 36. Well, that is it for our notes today. Hope you understood it, and we will be working on it tomorrow. See you in class.